Dear students, welcome my class. Today this class is for the students of Department of English first year honors. Today I will present a class or a short discussion on a non-fiction letter to Lord Chelmsford rejecting knighthood. Here for this text, here arises a question: who wrote the letter? Rabindranath Tagore wrote the letter. To whom he wrote the letter? He wrote the letter Lord Chelmsford, who was, here you see Lord Chelmsford, who was then the viceroy of East India Company. That means the British East India Company in India. Here you see, before we discuss the text, some focal points for the text. Letter to Lord Chelmsford rejecting knighthood. This non-fiction was written by Rabindranath Tagore or is written by Rabindranath Tagore. And here you see the main issue of the letter: reject. What did he reject then? The knighthood, the award, and this was given by George V, then the King of England, to Rabindranath. But Rabindranath rejected the knighthood award, and he wrote a letter to Lord Chelmsford. Here you may arise a question: why he wrote the letter to Lord Chelmsford? Why not Mr. George V? Because Lord Chelmsford was the representative of the King George V. And why he wrote the letter? Here in the text, an incident took place on 13 April 1999. Before then, Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the knighthoodship in 1915, and a massacre held in 13 April 1999. And where held? Obviously, it is in India. It was in India. And India where? This is the northern city of India, and the name of the place is Jallianwala Bagh of Amritsar in Punjab. That means in Punjab province, Jallianwala Bagh of Amritsar. Almost about 400 civilian Indians were killed, and almost 200 Indians were injured. And which why so many people gathered then? Because it was a Boishakhi fair. And finally, Rabindranath rejected the knighthoodship and became the activist of Indian liberation movement. Now I read out the text. I read out the summary of the text before you. Please concentrate on my speech. Letter to Lord Chelmsford rejecting knighthood. Actually, Rabindranath Tagore, the greatest poet of Bengali literature, was awarded the title of knighthood by the British government for his excellent contribution to literature in 1915. But as a mark of protest against the British government of the massacre in Jallianwala Bagh of Amritsar, he did not hesitate to reject the prestigious title of knighthood conferred upon him. On April 13, 1999, the mass people gathered in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar of the Punjab on the occasion of Boishakhi fair. The British soldiers opened fire on the peaceful gathering of the Indians. They killed almost 400 people, and more than 200 Indians injured on the spot. In fact, the British Raj expressed its barbarian nature by ordering the trained and equipped soldiers to open fire on the unarmed and helpless people of India. Tagore was indignant about the cruel and merciless act of the British authority, who caused a mass killing with view to quelling a local disturbance. By doing that barbarous act, the authority revealed, that means the British government, as you can took it, or you can consider it as the East India Company authority, revealed the helplessness of the position of the Indians as the British subjects in India. In his letter, Rabindranath Tagore has courageously declared that such massacre was without any parallel in the history of civilized governments. As a matter of fact, the British Raj lost its moral right to rule over the Indians because of its behaving with the Indians in such a merciless manner. After all, through the massacre, the British government showed that if the Indians tried to go against the rule, they would have to bear the severe consequences. As the British soldiers committed the heinous act of killing and injuring the innocent Indians by opening fire on them, Tagore regarded the title of knighthood as something shameful. So, Tagore did not hesitate to reject the title as a mark of protest against the merciless act of the British government. His rejection of knighthood inspired the patriotic Indians to achieve their victory. In fact, Tagore became the activist of the Indian liberation movement by renouncing the title of the knighthood. Here, in the text, you did not find so many things, as for example, you could not find the time in 1915. Because in 1915 he was awarded the prestigious award, the Knighthood Award, for his excellent contribution to Bengali literature, almost overall literature. But he rejected the knighthood after 4 years, that means in 1919. Why he rejected after 4 years that prestigious award? Because Rabindranath Tagore considered this award was shameful for him if he bear this title, because he could not bear in his mind that this massacre or this killing, such a killing of the innocent people, he could not take it easily. As the protest, he thought then it would be better to reject the title of the knighthood, and so he wrote a letter the then Viceroy, Mr. Lord Chelmsford, writing that he would not take the prestigious award, and for this the Indian national movement activists then got courage for the movement, because indirectly Rabindranath Tagore supported their movement, because Rabindranath Tagore think that this award is shameful for him, so he reject the knighthood. Here you see some other points. Here you see some other points here arises. Who gave this prestigious award to Rabindranath Tagore? George V awarded Rabindranath Tagore the prestigious award. Why he gave him? Because Rabindranath Tagore contributed a lot to literature, but he reject the knighthood, writing a letter to Lord Chelmsford, because Lord Chelmsford was then the viceroy. You also have to know who is the father of Rabindranath Tagore and who is the mother of Rabindranath Tagore. We already know that the father name of Rabindranath Tagore is Devendranath Tagore, and his mother's name is Sharda Devi, and he was the renowned family. He belongs to a renowned family of India. Whenever you read the letter to Lord Chelmsford rejecting knighthood, you did not see some points or some focal points that I have pointed out in this board, in this whiteboard. Always you have to write it carefully about the answer. Here you see why so many people gathered here, because it was then a Boishakhi fair, and we know Boishakhi fair is an annual fair, and it is a social festival of the Bengali, and this is a traditional fair. So so many people gathered there, and the equipped and trained militant did their activist against these people, because they convinced us, that means the people, the Indian people, that if they go against their rule, then they should bear the severe consequences. So whenever you read this text, you should be careful which points have to highlight in the answer. Then you obviously you have to know about the writer Mr. Rabindranath Tagore, and about the later and about the incidents and it is better acquainted with the name Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and that the Jallianwala, where is the place? This place is Amritsar, and here you may ask a question, where is Amritsar? In Punjab, and Punjab is the province in the northern India. How many people were killed? Almost about 400 were killed, and more than how many were injured, and more than 200 people, Indian civilization were injured. And what does the incident give us the message? This incident give us the message, if we protest or if we go against their rule, then we have to bear several consequences. And another message is that we, the Indian people, were helpless and totally we are ruthless. And what does the message did Rabindranath give us? Rabindranath Tagore give us the message that if the title was so higher than we think, but this was shameful, as they did some shameful activities or barbarous act to our people, that means upon us. So you read out the text carefully. If you have any question, then you put your comment on comment box. Thank you.